How do you buy an RV these days and not get an RV nightmare? I'll have some answers for you next. Welcome to the channel. I'm Liz. I interview people with defective RVs in order to pressure the RV industry to take care of their customers. So far that has been working thanks to you for making this channel the force that it is. Many of you wanted to get an RV until you started watching this channel. Nobody wants to get stuck with a $150,000, $200,000 nightmare. Really, it doesn't matter what price point. You don't want to get stuck with something that you're paying for, but you can't use. Today, I'll be sharing tips on how to avoid an RV nightmare. And I'll be giving recommendations, both new and used, on what to buy and what not to buy. And yes, I'll be naming names. When you're shopping for an RV, you should look for something simple that's easy to repair. A complicated RV means a complicated fix. Often it has to go to a special service center, so likely a dealer that's certified to work on your RV. And if it goes in the shop at the beginning of the season, it's not unusual for you to lose your RV for the entire season. And if they can't fix it, well, then it will have to go back to the factory for repairs. So you could lose your RV for 8 months, a year, or even longer. Just watch some of the videos on this channel and you'll see that it really can turn into an epic nightmare that you want to avoid. An example of a complicated repair are those control panels. You'll find an RV with a panel in it that's a touchscreen, and that controls all the systems. We're talking heat, air conditioning, lights, slides, levels, everything. So if that computer panel goes out, then you can't use your RV. And in fact, I heard from James and that exact thing happened. He bought a brand new Airstream. It had the C-Zone system. He started full-time RV life. He's traveling on the road. The panel went out and he said it was well over 100 degrees in the RV in the daytime. But it took over a month to get factory warranty approval and to get that computer shipped out. But it was complicated because each of those have to be programmed for the trailer. It's nothing the dealer can do. That system has to be programmed at the factory for that specific trailer. So that took a lot of time. He said 2 weeks of hotels at my expense. The repair was more complicated. He goes, I'm mystified. I am mystified that they would put a system like this in an RV. I mean, just think of what could possibly go wrong, right? He goes on to say, total downtime ended up being 8.5 weeks, a rough start to our first 7 months of full-time RVing, but we're due to get our trailer back in 3 days, which I'm trading in for a fifth wheel. I've completely lost confidence in Airstream and the way they do their procedures. Now, it is not just the control panels that can be a problem. It also can be problematic to have slides. Many people will say it's not if, but when those slides will break. Same thing with leveling jacks. Now, if you want something that's very simple that will allow you to get out there and enjoy RV life and not have all the worries, check out last week's video. I did a video interviewing owners of DM vans. Definitely keeps it simple so they can focus on the freedom and adventure. Don't just avoid all the extra bells and whistles, avoid low quality. Don't assume that just by spending more money, you're getting better quality. If you watch this channel, you know that is simply not the case. You need to do your research and make sure that you are getting something of good quality, because even without the bells and whistles, you still have a roof that may leak. Go to the owners forums and get the scoop from owners. You really want to take your time and do your research so that you don't end up with a problem RV. You're probably wondering how I'm holding up after listening to everyone's RV nightmare each week. I've been doing this for over 2 years, and yes, at times it has been hard. And adding to the pressure is something called seasonal transitional anxiety. Spring brings change, and life feels so much busier now when I think of all the things I want to do this spring and into summer. Lots of people are feeling anxious right now. Have you felt overwhelmed lately? Anxiety often peaks in late springtime, and my sponsor BetterHelp can connect you with a therapist who can provide support. I recently started with BetterHelp, and I can tell you it's already making a positive difference in my life. The majority of BetterHelp members seek support for anxiety, and 69% of members report improved anxiety symptoms after 6 weeks of therapy on BetterHelp. It's easy to start. Just fill out a questionnaire and you'll match with a therapist in as little as a couple days. You can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. They carefully make sure therapists on the platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is there for you if you have any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Let BetterHelp help you rule your anxiety so your anxiety doesn't rule you. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/LizAmazing and get 10% off your first month of therapy. I'm going to talk about what to buy new. First, here are my recommendations for buying used. So for towables, if you're looking at a fifth wheel, travel trailer, or toy hauler, my recommendations in general are to look at 2018 and older. Now, this varies by make and model, so you'll want to go to the Owners Forum and get the scoop from owners. Find out what year did the quality shift, when did it start going downhill. For example, Airstream owners will tell you that 2014 was when things started to shift, and they recommend buying older than 2014. It's really important to do your research. In general, I will say that Keystone, back in the day, they made a good quality product. Now for Class A's, we're talking motorhomes. There's something that happened in 2010 that's called DEF. DEF is an additive in diesel engines that a lot of people don't like. It can be expensive to buy DEF, and there's more maintenance for the engines. If you talk to a gearhead, they will tell you that the best diesel engines are pre-DEF. So you'd want to get something pre-2010. But in 2008, the Great Recession happened. A lot of these fancy motorhome builders realized that in order to stay in business, they had to cheapen their product. So the best advice is to get 2007 or older. However, don't get entry level in those years. You want to go up a tier or two to get better quality. Class A's that I recommend from that era are Prevost, Newell, Ford Travel, Monaco, Country Coach, Beaver, and American. As far as buying new, I've been saying this for 2 years now. Avoid mass produced. There was a shift starting around 2019 where the companies went away from quality and more into maximizing profits. They went away from serving the customers and towards serving the stockholders, because yes, these big companies, they're traded on the stock market and they're more concerned about maximizing their profits than pleasing their customers. These are also the easiest new RVs to find. This is what you'll see at the big chain dealerships. This is what you'll see at the RV shows. So I do recommend, and have been recommending for a long time, that when you buy new, it should be through a small independent RV maker. They're the ones that are putting together quality. They are generally not in Indiana, so that's a good sign. These companies typically skip the dealer, so you order directly from them. That's a great savings for you, plus you're working directly with the manufacturer. You can often pick your amenities and even pick your colors. But the downside to that is that there's often a wait because they're building that especially for you. One way you can avoid the wait is to look in the used market and buy one from a private seller. So that may be an answer for you. If you want to see an example of a small independent RV maker doing things right, check out my video about the Oliver trailer. I did a complete video featuring independent RV makers to consider, so check it out here. No matter what you buy, new or used, definitely get an inspection. Don't sign anything until it's fixed, and Be prepared to walk away if it doesn't feel right. I talk to a lot of people on this channel. They get so excited about an RV that they might buy that they start making camping reservations. They start planning for that big trip, and like maybe they're going to go to Yellowstone, and they make all these reservations, and then if the RV doesn't seem right, they feel like, well, we have to take it anyway. We've got these reservations. So slow down. Don't make any big reservations. Always be in a position of power, a position where you can walk away if things aren't right. Let me know any tips in the comments I may have missed. If you've had a great experience with an RV manufacturer, name names, put it in the comments below. And as always, please like, subscribe, and share. The word is still not out yet about needing an inspection on new as well as used, so definitely please share to help educate your fellow RVers. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.